Hello, everybody. It's Rachel at Journey Back Quilts, and today we're working in my studio with some fun new projects that I'm doing for a custom client. But real quick, I want to just make sure my sound is working well. Okay, good. I have a guest camera in the studio today, so I wanted to make sure I didn't have a weird echo going on. So before we get started, while we're waiting for everybody to come on, make sure. Oh, looks like something was deleted. Let's see if we can get it back. Go live. That is weird. There, come on. All right, well, I am sorry about that. We're not streaming live right now on our Facebook group, but I am on my Facebook page, and YouTube looks like it's working well. So we're just going to ignore that and keep going. All right. So a few announcements real quick. This month we've got the Sunny Rainbow Table Topper Sew Along going on. And this is a foundation paper piece table topper. Measures 36 inches square. You get the full kit and caboodle with all the fabric you need to make the quilt top and the pattern and binding fabric all in this. And then with this program, you're going to get sew along videos, just kind of like this one, where you get to sew along with me. They're all pre-recorded, however, so you can work at your own pace, your own time, and have a lot of fun. So this is a great way to learn how to do foundation paper piecing, and it's super fun. So if you use discount code St. Patty's, St. Patty's or St. Patty, St. Patty 10, let me type that in the box for you. You get 10% off your first box or your entire yearly subscription. Let me grab that link so you can go learn about it and check it out. We only have a few spots left in this kit, so make sure you swipe yours today. Here is the link. So use St. Patty's 10 to get 10% off that first box. And the second announcement is make sure that you get your free quilting goals calendar. So you can get one that's all bound and has a nice cover like this on our website, or you can just download the free PDF guide. And I will put that link in the box too. Let me go grab that. This is a great calendar for quilters or any crafters, really, just to help you organize your projects so that you can make progress in getting your projects done. So here's that link. Lots of links coming at you real quick. There you go. So in here, there is the calendar of what we have going on every month. And so it's not too late to get yours, even though it's already March. Can you believe that? So this month it shows that we have the Sunny Rainbow Table Topper here. And then we had our free guild meeting on the 2nd. The next one will be April 6th. It's the first Thursday of every month. And then our next class is going to open on March 21st. And that is our Farm Girl Vintage class by Lori Holt. So I walk you through how to put together every single block in this book and how to put it together, how to start and finish from beginner lessons all the way to the end. So this is a great class for beginner quilters to learn everything you want to know about quilting so you can quilt with confidence as well. And let me tell you, one of the ladies who helps work for me now, she started quilting using this this program that I have. And now she helps me quilt. And I'm going to show you one of the projects that she helped me work on, and I'm going to finish up. So awesome. Linda says she loves her calendar. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that helps you. Awesome. Let's see who else is on. Oh, Kendra. Okay. Here's Kendra. Here's my helper. She's the one who learned how to quilt using this book. So you're going to see her work today. Awesome. Okay. And then what else do I have? This Saturday our free lesson on YouTube is learning how to make square within a square blocks. And that is in this lesson as well, but we go even more in depth in this than we do with the YouTube videos. So, all right, let's get to the project that I'm working on today. Kendra and I have been working on this project together to make a memory quilt in this fun, unique pattern that was written by Lo and Behold Stitchery. I love her patterns. They are so fun, very geometric-y and kind of Southwestern, kind of Aztec-y, kind of tribal, fun stuff like that. So let me change my camera view so that you can see what's going on. Okay, we're going to add this one to the stream. There we go. Here it is. Isn't that cool? So I've got a couple strips. They're not all sewn together. They're just kind of laying on the floor. So I'm going to finish up putting some borders around one of the strips, and then we'll start putting those sets all together. So this pattern, I actually was able to duplicate a few of the rows to make it a little larger, and we added a few blocks to make it a little longer, and that way it is the size of the quilt that the client wanted, and it is made all out of her late husband's clothing, other than the light blue background. So we were able to help preserve it in a quilt that she will be able to love and hang on to. And let me get over there and I'll start working on it. So I'm going to jump back and forth a little bit. I'm going to go grab some pieces, and then we're going to come back to the sewing machine. And actually, I already have some pieces at the sewing machine. So let me change this again. And change this camera view. Too many fun cameras. To this one. And then we'll switch to this one. There we go. So I'm gonna make this one the solo. There we go. All right. So I'm gonna just keep sewing. Feel free to hang out with me as long as you want to. You can leave when you need to. You can watch the replay. I would love to hear your thoughts. And just hang out watching me, and I'll check the comment box often. So go ahead and have conversations with me. I would love to hang out with you. See if I can lower my chair here. There we go. Okay. So I have some yellow strips here that I have to sew together still. I didn't cut enough of them to give to Kendra when she was putting them together, so I'm going to put them together myself. So I'm just going to sew them all together, one big, huge, long piece. So this might take me a few minutes here. But I know when I watch YouTube, I love just sitting back, relaxing, and watching these videos. So if you're watching the replay, make sure you comment #replay. And we love it when you subscribe and follow us so that we can be friends. We also have a free Facebook group called Your Quilting Journey Show and Tell page. So if you just look that up on Facebook, you can post your projects, ask questions if you get stuck on something, or maybe you want some advice on fabric or something like that. It's just a fun community to hang out with. We have quilters from all around the world that are hanging out there. We have some people over in Europe and up in Canada, and of course all over the United States. It's just amazing how we can connect using social media like this. Okay, so I just chain pieced all of those. Now I'm going to clip those connecting threads. Feels kind of like I'm sewing spaghetti together, these long, skinny, floppy strips. And this was made out of a button-down shirt. That we cut up into all these little strips. Make sure they're right sides together. All right, almost there. It's getting longer and longer. I think this is the last one, actually. Perfect. That didn't take too long. Okay. I'm going to take this over to my iron. I'm in the middle of filming a Christmas table topper that goes along with that table topper kit. Let me show you which one it is. Isn't that so cute? I love it. Christmas trees is what it's called. So I'm a little behind on my table toppers, but that's okay. Most of the other students are as well, and we will be done in time for you to join us for this one. So much fun. That one comes out, I think, in August, I want to say. Let me move some of my junk out of the way. Get my iron turned on. Forgot to do that. So while we're waiting for that to heat up, this is the quilt diagram. She makes these fun coloring sheets, and I added a little bit to it. So it's supposed to end right here and right here. This little portion right here is the quilt. So I added a few more blocks to the rows and then a couple more rows up here and down here to make it a little bit longer and a little bit wider. And I think it looks really cool. So it's a good way to kind of play with your colors and see what's going to look good. So you get that visual before you even start on it. Super handy. Okay. So I'm just going to iron all of these seams open. Should be almost warmed up, still blinking. These Oliso irons are my favorite. They are so nice, heavy duty. They get really hot. We can always order you an iron if you would like to purchase one from us. They come in lots of different colors too. Like this blue one, I've had a yellow and a pink one. They have a purple one. They have lots of specialty ones. So if you're ever looking for a new iron, let me know and I'll get you a good deal on one. All right, that was it. I need to trim this guy just a little bit. All right, let me change the camera view so you can see where I'm going. Let's go over here now. Oh, wow. Linda said her first Oliso lasted her 13 years. Oh, I love the small ones too. They're so fun. I have one of those in my travel bag. So nice. So cool. All right, let me go grab that next row. So what's going to happen is right here, this row here needs strips of yellow on either side, just like those rows down there. So what I'm going to do is just sew this all the way down, then trim it, and then come back and sew all the way down this side. So let's go to the sewing machine again. Switch. There we go. Right sides together, match up those raw edges. And I think I am going to backstitch a little here just because we're at the end of the quilt. I'm not sure if I'm going to put a little border around this to do the long arming yet or not. Kind of thinking about it just so that I don't cut off the points when I put the binding on. You don't want to hide those pretty points. And you can see I just line up a little bit just as far as the table of my sewing machine is, and then I sew that, and then I'll line it up again. So I put my finger where I have it lined up so I know where to stop. Then reline it up again. And this and here I'm at almost the end, so I'm just going to trim my border off a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect because we'll square it back up once we've ironed it. I am going to backstitch. All right, now I'm going to flip it around and go down the other side. And this is where, when I have a pre-recorded video, I would just speed up the video, put a little music to it, and you would watch the whole thing in 2 seconds instead of 5 minutes. It takes a minute to get through it all. I don't like it when my seams flip up, so I'll lift my foot to push that down, and then we can keep going. Sometimes it will make some unnecessary bulk when it flips up like that. So keeping those seams down where we can. is nice because when we get to the long arm, or if you do quilting on your domestic sewing machine, the needle doesn't like going through that many layers of fabric at one time. So having flat seams is helpful when possible. And I made way more than I needed of this border, but that's okay. If I need to use it somewhere else, then I have it ready. Okay, now we need to go iron these. I want to double check to see which way Kendra ironed hers, if she ironed them open or to the side, and then we'll match what she did so that the quilt will match. So let me go grab one of those. Okay. So she just ironed the borders towards the border. Iron those seams towards the border. So that's what we're going to do here too, which is way easier. So you're just going to put your iron down and then push that seam over. And I'm just going to do the other side, pushing it out. Okay, scoot it down. How many projects do you have going at one time? I'm curious because I probably have too many going at one time. I have 2 on my design wall right now, and then this one on the floor, and then one that needs to go on the long arm for a client. But I also have way too many that I need to long arm for myself. So how many do you think you have going at one time? Not counting all of your UFOs, just what you have going on in your sewing area. All right, that looks so nice. I'm going to move this out of the way. Now we can trim up those ends. Grab a different ruler. Oh my goodness, I forgot to change the camera view. Sorry about that. Kendra, at least 3. She says she has at least 3 going on at the same time. I hear ya. It's because we get easily distracted by all the pretty things, right? So I just ironed those seams going out towards the borders. Sorry, I forgot to change the camera view for that. And now I'm just lining up a line of my ruler on that seam of my border and this block, and then lining it up with that blue to trim off any of that excess yellow. And now it's all squared up. Let's do the other side. And there we go. Much better. All right, so our next row, the one that's going to go above this, is the flying geese row. So let's see. I want it to go this way. Looking at my directions, I've got a dark blue here, and that's what my plaid is. So I'm going to have it here on the left-hand side, and then my flying geese pointing down towards it. So let me go grab that row. This is a very fun, simple quilt because you're just strip piecing pretty much. You're just making all these rows. You just do row by row by row. So I'm just going to line up these raw edges here and sew them together. Okay. Change the camera view. My petal is crawling away from me. I need my little sticky thing under there again. It's wanting to push that fabric down, so let's see if I need a leader fabric. Nope, it worked. Okay. All right, there's that one. I think Linda meant too many to count. If you have 500, that's a lot. That's a lot going on, girl. Too many. Okay, let me change the camera. There we go. So now I'm going to open this seam. So just start it with my finger and then use the nose of my iron to wiggle on there. I'm also being aware of what these seams are looking like. So as I'm getting on top of them, I'll kind of just lift the iron sideways a little bit and keep wiggling it down, helping it through, especially with those seams that are connecting there. Scoot it down. I have longer, larger ironing boards, but they don't have a camera on them. So we're going to just use this little baby one, which is great for filming. But doing big, huge, long projects like this can get a little awkward. Oh, come on. And I will flip it over to the right side and press it from there too, just to make sure everything's looking good from the top. But we got to open it from the back first. There we go. Let's flip it over. Just give it a good press this way too. And we'll square all that up as we get done. Okay, let's go back over to the floor where I have it laid out and see what the next row is going to be. So the next row is supposed to be this chevron. And I did the chevron where she did the other rows. And another quilter friend who helps us had said at one time, you should never have two people making the same quilt because one person's ruler may be just slightly different than the other person's ruler, or their seam allowance might be just a little different, and that shows in this quilt. So mine is just a touch longer than hers is. So I might skip this row because I'm not sure what I want to do with it yet. If I want to just start it from this point and then trim off the end, like right here, you can see it is definitely, 4 inches longer or so. So I could trim it off, but it might look kind of funny. I'm not sure what I want to do yet. So I think I'm going to skip that for a minute and then go back to this row that I have over by the machine and put that on the center part. And then everything is sewn together that we can other than the chevron. So let's go to the sewing machine and put this one on. Hey, Wanda, it is called Tribal something. Let me look at it real quick. Tribal Song. And it's by Lo and Behold Stitchery. Isn't that fun? So this is just the baby-sized quilt. She has a throw and baby-sized instructions in here and detailed pictures on how to put it all together. So really fun. And then I just printed mine in black and white because this was the PDF download. But these were all different color layouts that you could choose from just to give you some inspiration and stuff. So yeah, Tribal Song. Okay, so this is my center. And I want to make sure I put the ladder row on correctly because one end has the plaid and one end is just the background. So I want to do the opposite to the other side. So we're going to start with the background on this top portion. So here's my background on this end. So that's going to be my start on this side. We're just going to sew 1/4 inch down those rows. Super easy. Right, Kathleen? Right? So many variables. So she says there's rulers to consider, quarter-inch foot, etc. So many different things. Yep. And that's okay. It's still not like major problem. And now we've learned our lesson. So if I want her to make a quilt, I am not going to start it for her because that was my fault. I was like, "Oh yeah, this is fine. You can take over," not thinking that it would be an issue. But now we know. And if we need to rip it out and have her redo it, or maybe just trim it, it's going to be just fine. I haven't decided what I'd do yet. What would you do? Would you rip it out, redo it, or would you just square it up where it is and call it good? Kendra, she says, phew. No, Kendra is amazing. She is a wonderful quilter. I'm so grateful for her help. Are you guys sewing anything right now while you're watching me? Are you hanging out, making something? Let me know in the comments what you're working on. And you can show us pictures in our Facebook group if you want to. We love seeing projects. So much fun. Oh, see, this one's just a little short too. Wow, it's just amazing. Another issue with this is probably because we're sewing memory clothes to cotton, and most of the time I will pre-wash or starch the fabric so that it is already pre-shrunk, so that if it gets washed together, it will work together just fine. So just FYI, everything's going to work just fine with this. Um, but it still stretches differently because it's different fabric. So that could be why everything is misaligned too. And it's okay. There's ways around it. So I may add just a little tiny sliver of more border and a little bit of the blue just to top that off. And that way we have a way to square it up without cutting off all these perfect points right here. And yeah, it's just kind of a memory quilts are always a trial. Every single one is totally different and they go together differently. And there's always something that you have to kind of finagle around and get things to work right. So it's totally fine. It's a little bit of an inconvenience, but that's just how memory quilts go. All right, I'm going to open the seam to this one too. Now, I will say I don't use this iron to put the stabilizer on the memory close because I don't want to melt all that goo into my iron. So we use some cheap Black & Decker irons for that job. And then when they get really bad and we can't clean them anymore, then we don't feel so bad getting rid of them because they get a little gummy. I've used Iron Off to clean them and those iron sheets that you can run your iron over to clean. And both of them work okay, but it doesn't work 100% to clean those irons of the stabilizer glue. So do your best and then just replace it when you have to. They last a long time though. It's probably like one every 3 years or something like that they get too gummed up and then we can't work them anymore. Maybe even longer than that. I think I've had those irons since my first in-home classes I used to do back in 2000. Was it 18 that I started those? So they're only 5 years old now, and we just threw one away just the other day. So, but they don't get used every day all the time. There we go. Let's flip this baby over. Oh, that's looking so cool. I hope the client just loves it, that it brings her good memories and some comfort. That's what we always say. We pray this brings comfort and good memories to you. Okay, I'm going to go lay it back out there just so we can see how it's looking. Oh, lots of practice, Kathy. She says, wow, you are opening that seam so easily. I always burn my fingers. It just takes a lot of practice using that nose of the iron to get it to open and just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle and keep pushing it with your fingers. I don't stretch the fabric, but I'll kind of give it a little bit of tension just so that it will flop open. So if that helps, try it out. Let's see. Wanda says, just hanging out at the moment, but I have some projects waiting for me to work on them. Yeah, I know it. We all have those projects, huh? I'm working on or will be when I get off here a mystery medallion quilt. Oh, Wanda, that's going to be fun. I want to see that one for sure. You'll have to go to our Facebook page. Let me just grab that link right now so that you guys have it. If you're not on there already, it's free to join. So just come on over and join, and then you can post your projects and all that stuff. So I'm grabbing that link and I'll put it in the comments. Here you go. So come join us over there so you can show off what you're making. I can't wait to see that one, Wanda. That's going to be so fun. I love mystery quilts. So much fun. I just, I'm almost finished with one right now. The Bonnie Hunter's Chilawi quilt. So beautiful. I just finished long arming it last night and hiding all my threads. And then I'm going to hand bind the rest of it. So here we go. Just want to lay out. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, can you see the end of this? How it's that much longer? Drives me crazy. I hate that happened, but that's okay. It's not Kendra's fault. Don't feel bad, Kendra. It's just weird, isn't it? So it would trim like that. So it's going to cut that point off if I just trim it. Or I could rip it all apart and have Kendra redo it so that it is to her measurements of her machine and rulers. And then see if it works. Because yeah, it's 2.5 inches longer. Isn't that weird? The other thing is it could be the pattern. Sometimes I've seen some of my patterns kind of get wonky like this. Like the math should finish out just perfectly, but it doesn't, especially when using memory quilt clothing. So it might work out if you're using just cotton, but using some of the memory clothes too might mess it up. So put in the chat box, what would you do? Would you take it apart and redo it? Or would you just trim right here and not worry about it? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Looks so pretty though. All right, let me change some of my cameras around so I can see you again. Rather, you can see me again. There we go. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. This was so much fun to hear your comments and just hang out and sew with you guys. So Kathy says that she would trim it. All right, Kathy. We'll see. Oh, you're so sweet. Kendra says that was so weird, but I would be happy to redo it if needed. So thanks. Thanks so much, Kendra. Wanda says it looks like both identical strips are longer, but I think as it is for a customer, I would redo it. I know. That's how I feel too, Wanda. At least it's like the end, like I'm not cutting off the point of the beginning. So the end, it wouldn't really matter, especially if they both matched, but I hear what you're saying. So we'll see. Stay tuned for what I do. I will post in our Facebook group and I'll be sure to put videos on it when I do the long arming and stuff like that. So make sure you stay tuned for all of those things. And don't forget about our classes coming up. The Sunny Rainbow. I already put it away. Oh, it's right here. The Sunny Rainbow is open right now. So you can register for that anytime. And this is a subscription box. So if you would like all 12, you can stay in the program for all 12. And look at those fun quilts. So pretty. So this is the one I'm working on right now myself. And then I still have, let's see, January and February and March left to film myself and to finish mine. But all the rest of them are done and on the website already. And they are so much fun. Such a fun program. And then March 21st, Farm Girl Vintage opens. So make sure you go to the website and get on the wait list for that. And I'll be sure to email you when it opens. All right. Next week is the live fabric sale. So I'm going to have some remnants, some new products, some old products, some things that we're just clearing out of our inventory. And you can join us and shop online. It's super fun and super easy. And I'll see you then. Have a great week, guys. Bye.